As many of you know, I'm a Minecraft pro, and I'm always looking for ways to spice things up. It was about time for me to start a new world when I stumbled upon Minecraft VR, and that's when I started to think, could Minecraft really be better in VR? There's really no way to compare like two different versions of Minecraft without just playing it normally, so I spent the past few days playing Minecraft in only VR. I started this world like any other, punching trees, getting tools, all that. And probably the first thing I noticed is that everything in VR is just way bigger. Everyone knows that like one block is half of Steve's height, but you can't really realize how big that is until you're actually in VR. Like, Steve is 6 feet tall. And I mean, 3 feet's a lot more than you think, trust me. I spent the first few days just like kind of getting used to the controls and learning how to do everything. And you know what, speaking of controls, the default ones are like horrible. I don't have any footage of this, but I spent like a good hour reconfiguring everything so it would just like make sense. And it was like a huge bummer because installing it was like super easy, but instead of just hopping in, I have to spend so much time remapping everything. It's also pretty hard to get used to like new VR controls, like crafting, swimming, all that kind of stuff is very different. And at least for me, it was hard to learn. Probably because I'm dumb, but also because there's no tutorial for anything. I can see how this could be like super intriguing to a lot of people, but drowning 6 times in my test world trying to figure out how to swim was not fun. Rant aside, I found some coal, and while I was in the caves, I had my first encounter with Death himself.
My first adversary. Dude, this is just like Dark Souls. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh! Okay, combat is super easy.
And pretty soon after, I realized I don't have a bed. So I went out looking for sheep, but I stumbled upon a village and just spent my first night there.
Dude, I'm not even in the bed. What is this?
The village was honestly super lame. It had nothing but wheat in it, so I kind of just like left to go home, but
Yeah. I think I'm completely lost. But this isn't too bad of a spot to build a little house, a little base right here in the middle. That'd be kind of neat. I think I'm gonna do that. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I didn't dwell on it though. After getting my little setup together, I just went into the caves looking for some iron, and I got myself into a little bit of a pickle.
Okay. Creeper jump scare.
But I continued to go mining, and despite having horrible luck trying to find iron, I got a pretty healthy amount and spent it all on armor. After that, I decided to do the responsible thing and make a little farm. It was close to my bed, but whatever.
Okay. So, for today, my goal is to build my base, which means a lot of mining and not a lot of content. So, it's probably going to be a short one, for you at least.
And to start this day off with 0 content, I went straight to gathering materials for my base. And that's all I did for the next half hour. And all this time alone in the caves really made me think, you must look really dumb playing this game. Like, whenever you have to swim, you don't do like a swimming motion, you just raise both your hands. And especially with like mining and eating, I could definitely see how someone could get the wrong idea. Later, I emerged from the caves with a healthy amount of stone for my build, and moved straight on to just chopping trees, which also isn't very interesting. I had about 6 stacks of stone to cook up for my build, so I went AFK before hopping off for the day. I came back day 3 with a nice amount of stone and the urge to build.
Hopefully this is enough space. It's hard for me to like visualize how big this is going to be. Let me plan this out real quick. Pretty much the layout of this is just going to be a long rectangle. What's going to go over here is a farm. One of those, same size. But we need like an outline for it. We're going to do a 3x3. That'll work. About that big. That could work. We might be able to pull off the 4x4. Right, and then that would be like the size of it. Yeah, we can fit that in. Then we have like a little spacer. And I want to put a tower right here. I think I'm just going to do a 3x3. So something like... And that fits well within our area. And then just like a house, which will be however big. Okay. Yeah, that'll work out. I thought we wouldn't have enough space, but we definitely do. I'm gonna start with the foundation. Now that I have the foundation done, I'm gonna focus on the tower first, because the house that's gonna go on this side and the details for the farm on this side both rely on the tower. So I think I'm just gonna do that part first, make it easy for myself. It's gonna be a lot of stone though, a whole lot of stone. Alright, there we go. Got the tower done. It looks a lot less pointy than I thought it was gonna look, but it's okay. Alright, next I want to build the house that's gonna go here. It's a very basic house, but like literally just a 5x5. But hopefully it'll look pretty decent. There we go. It's our little house. It's our little house with a big roof. What more could you want in life, right? I gotta say, it's really cool, like, to build in VR, because this house is beyond small, right? It's like a 5x6, 5x7 or something like that. It's a very small house, but, like, I'm here in VR, and it feels big. It feels like a normal-sized room. It's so hard to explain, but it's such a small build, but it still feels so big. And it's really cool. So the next thing I need to do is build the farm, and pretty much it's just going to be a whole bunch of slabs. It's kind of just going to be like an overhang connected to the tower. Alrighty, so I mean, other than moving in, we pretty much finished the build. But I'll do that tomorrow. I've been playing this game for like 3 hours today. I'm ready to get off.
I started day 4 by picking up everything I owned and moving into my new house. The interior could use some work, but you know, it is what it is.
Alrighty, now that I've moved in, officially, the next thing I need to do is to make a cow farm and a sugarcane farm, because I need bookshelves for enchanting. Hello, Mr. Cow, look what I have. Your favorite snack. Now you're trapped forever. Never to leave again. Hooray! Alrighty, I'll say we got a pretty aesthetic cow farm going on over here. Probably one of my best designs ever. I don't think anybody's done this before. Really innovating with this one. But now I need a sugarcane farm, and those are always super ugly. So, it's gonna take some real brain power to make this not look terrible. I feel like the design isn't terrible. I've done better, I won't lie, but, you know, it works for now. Alright, so our next goal is to get diamonds. We want diamonds so we can go to the nether, and you know what that means. More mining! Yay!
Excited to start my mining adventure, I headed out immediately and found 2 things. One was a skeleton spawner,
The skeleton spawner! Oh my goodness!
and the other was death.
Well, I don't think we're gonna be getting our stuff back.
Having to start all over again, I found myself in a ravine that led to a pretty big cave. That's where I regained my dignity and found my very first diamonds.
Alright, I've run out of torches, so I'm gonna start heading back up. I could make more, I have some coal on me, but I'd rather save it. And hey, we're 7 diamonds richer. I'd say it was pretty successful. Okay, new day, new me. It's like I always say, right? So, right now, my main goal is to beat the Ender Dragon. But before we do that, I have to go to the nether. Alright, so I have 2 obsidian. That's actually a pretty good start. I'm gonna head back down into the mines, see if I could maybe find some more diamonds, and grab the obsidian that we need.
Today's mining trip was not fun in the slightest. Very aggravating, actually. It took an unreasonable amount of time for me to find a lava pool in this cave. And in all that time, I didn't find a single diamond either. It was kind of a bust, but after I got my obsidian, I got out real quick and set my sights on the nether. I brought some gold with me into the nether in hopes I would get some easy pearls, but I had no luck.
Nothing. Damn, what a waste.
My next goal was to get some blaze rods. And I'll be honest with you guys, I did a tiny, weensy little itty-bitty bit of cheating and looked up the exact coordinates of the nearest nether fortress, but it's okay. To make up for it, I had a terrible time fighting these blazes.
I'm at half a heart.
But eventually I left 6 rods and a few diamonds richer, so I won't complain.
Secret tunnel, through the mountain.
Nothing made me want to drop this world and burn my headset more than day 6. I spent 3 hours in the nether, looking for a blue biome, killing endermen, getting all 12 ender pearls, and trying to find my way back. I did nothing else. That's it. I only have 30 seconds of usable footage for this day, and that's all I get for 3 hours of torment. Day 7, on the other hand, was very important. Now that I have all 12 Eyes of Ender, we can start to prepare for the Ender Dragon fight. And the first thing I had to do was collect some wool for beds. I went on a little expedition for some sheep when I obviously got lost again. You know, I walked specifically in a straight line, one direction, so that I could just turn around and find my way home really easy. But no, of course, I end up in the village from the very beginning. How? I don't even know where this was in the first place, and I just show up there? Dude, I just got my license and can, like, drive wherever I want now, and I'm actually scared because all I have to do is drive for like 5 minutes and I will never find my way home. I need a GPS to get to the end of the street. How do you expect me to find my way home to my Minecraft base? Anyways, I did, but it took an hour. When I got home, I crafted up all my beds and collected everything I would need for the fight. I used the eyes to find the stronghold and spent an embarrassingly long time looking for the portal room. I lit the portal, stared into the void, and jumped in. Unfortunately, disaster struck very early on. About 2 minutes into the fight, my water just, like, disappeared.
What? The water's gone? How did that even happen?
My most crucial tool to this fight just magically disappeared for no reason. And the consequences of this became apparent very quickly. Got back into the fight and managed to take out all the towers. I quickly moved on to using the beds to lower the dragon's health as much as possible. I did lose quite a few in a fire, so I wasn't able to kill him, but I took out a pretty good chunk. A few perches and a well-placed arrow later, I had done it. I beat Minecraft in VR. This whole experience was very far from what I expected. I don't know why, but going into this I thought everything would be like similar to the base game. But it's not. Everything is different. Controls, scales, combat, building, movement, it's all completely different. Literally everything could not be further from the base game. It's really hard to explain because in a video they look super similar, but when you're like in VR, it feels so different. Nothing was intuitive. I had to learn how to do everything. It was honestly super interesting and by far the main selling point of this mod. But it's not perfect, most notably the performance. We all know Minecraft is already like a horribly optimized game, and trying to port that to VR is not gonna help. Now, I will say I probably had a worse than average experience. And that's probably because I only played the game with OBS running in the background, and it just eats up your CPU like nothing else. Still, I had to run the game on super low settings just to get more than 30 FPS. And while it looked fine for you on the screen, in the headset, there was a ton of distortion and a much lower frame rate. Although that's most likely due to the fact that the Oculus software is just a heaping pile of shit. I also didn't take a lot of time to troubleshoot this and get it running at 100% efficiency, so chances are you are going to have a better experience than me. Also, it's a free mod. Porting a game to VR is not an easy task, and I'm not expecting perfect performance, right? It's far from a deal breaker. But this does lead me into Minecraft VR's biggest problem. Motion sickness. I would say I have pretty good VR legs, right? I can play Boneworks for hours on end. But when it comes to Minecraft VR, I can hardly get past 2 hours without like needing to take a break. I don't know if it's because I was playing on such a low frame rate or just because of how unrealistic Minecraft is, but it did something funny to my brain and it made me genuinely sick, more than any other VR game. If you get motion sick really easy, this might be something you want to stay away from. But to everyone else, this is 100% worth a shot. It's seriously amazing how much the game can change when you're in VR. And with it being free and so easy to install, you're really missing out if you don't try. For me personally, I'm gonna stick with 2D Minecraft. It's what I'm used to, and like I said, the motion sickness gets to me pretty quick. But this playthrough is not something I regret. Despite its flaws, it was a super fun way to add something new to the game. So to answer my question, is Minecraft better in VR? Not really, but it is a really fun one-time kind of thing, and you should definitely give it a shot. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.